Hey guys, it's Naya from NWC Counseling, and it is Talk to Me Live Thursday. I hop on, if this is your first time watching, I hop on every Thursday to talk to people in social media world about issues that, as a therapist, this is my private practice, my office, I am able to communicate with clients about, or themes that I'm seeing that affect the mental health and the spiritual and emotional health, and able to bring it to you so that you're able to take in the information or be able to share it with someone that you think could use it. And so we usually have themes every month, and welcome to this Thursday. I don't even know what day it is, guys. I have been really messing up my days, and I think I'm just over this week. It was a short week. I don't know. How was your week? Did you have a good week? My kids were off school on Monday because it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and so I don't know. I just feel like this month is racing by. Like, it's just, I don't know. I was telling my husband, I remember last January, it felt like it lasted 11 weeks. Like, it was super long. And for some reason, this January is like, boop, here we are. It's almost the last week. And it's been really busy in the practice and a lot of people coming out for therapy. And so it's been good, but it's been really rushed. So today, I am making time to make sure I hop on to talk with you guys about money, because this month we were talking about financial health, and next week I have a special guest coming on, which is the Sassy Southern Accountant, to answer some questions that we have received, and that you can tell us live. If we're doing it live, we might not be able to do it live. It might be pre-recorded, but we'll still have some good questions. So make sure you put questions down or on the side, this side of the box, or you ask me, send me a message, whatever you do. Okay, so let's recap really fast, nasty. I'm not gonna make this video long, I promise, but let's recap what we talked about last time. We talked about the barriers to having healthy finances and a healthy financial life. And in that, we talked about some of the really obvious, important things that, of course, I think are very common. You hear people talking about a lot. It's not like ooh, I've never heard about this before. They're very basic things. I wasn't trying to invent the wheel or reinvent the wheel. I was just trying to share how there are common barriers that people who go to therapy often experience. And so some of those things that we talked about, excuse me, if my voice changes, please don't feel weird. I'm not going through puberty. I'm just have a cold, and it's been really, anyway. All right, so we talked about some of the barriers to healthy finances was overspending, spending things so that we can feel good in the moment, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and also looking at a lot of consumerism and feeling the need to engage in that behavior. So things like advertisements and shopping online, and billboards and commercials, and just things that teach us we need to buy this in order to feel happy, to feel loved, to feel cared for. And then also we talked about some remedies as well. So we talked about basically trying to start a budget, using cash only as a system to live according to your budget if you struggle with sticking to the budget. We talked about trying to live within our means, and we talked a little bit about the idea of minimalism and implementing that in your life. And so you can always go back and watch that video if it was something that you missed. I don't want you guys to miss those videos, so make sure you go back and rehash it if you want. But today we are talking about money. Yeah, we were talking about that before, but we're talking about money stories. So I want you, if you're watching right now, or if you're watching the replay later, to fill in the blank. Money is, do it. I remember on a podcast I was listening to, Being Boss, and they had this activity where you were supposed to say what money was. And I was just like, at first I didn't think about it, and then I was like, wait a minute. It was really difficult. I was like, what do I think money is? Like, is money just currency to you? Is money a evil thing? Is money a necessary thing? What is money? Take a minute and really think about it. Like, seriously, what do you think money is? How would you equate money? Like, what is it to you? Because the whole purpose behind that activity is because what is a new terminology? The terminology that we're talking about now is money stories, our money stories. So a money story is basically, and this is the sexiest way I can put it for you guys, it's essentially an unconscious belief that you have about money, maybe how you should earn it, what it means to want it, what it means to have a lot, to have a little of it. And it reveals a lot about you and what you believe. And so it's an unconscious belief that you have about money. And let me tell you how this comes into play, okay? So I didn't know much about a money story or the idea of a money story until I started my own business. Because in my business, I learned that I had limiting beliefs about money. Neshandra said, money is supposed to move. If it's not moving, it's not working. If I want the lights, I'll move that money from my pocket to the SC&G. That is right. And SC&G will take the money and the taxes and garnish your checks if you do, do those things as well. So yes, I like that idea. Money is supposed to move. Something else that someone else said that really stuck with me that I personally like is that money is energy. I like that. And if you guys know me, I'm kind of woo-woo. So I kind of like to believe that I talk about energy and the feel of like energy with people in the room. Some people that I meet in the room, we have really good energy and I feel it. And some people, it's just like, oh, their energy is really low and I have to perk up my energy or lower my energy to match theirs. But anyway, I like the idea that money is energy. So go ahead, keep putting down like what you guys think money is. Like money is what? All right, I think money is energy, and that's what I'm going to put in the box when I look at this later. Yes, Allison, tell me what you think money is. Like, what do you think money is? I am not money, so unfortunately, money is not going to, but like, what do you think like money means to you? Money is what to you? Okay, so let me go back to what I was saying. I did not think about a money story until I had a business. In my business, I learned that I had like limiting beliefs. Like I would automatically say things like, well, I'm a counselor, so I can only make this much money. Or Allison says money is fun. Ugh. You like talking about money, Allison? That's interesting because most people don't. I don't think a lot of people would consider that same thing, but I love that you love that because money can be fun, right? So in my practice, in my business, I thought, well, I'm a counselor. There's certain things that I can and cannot do with money. I can't ask for certain things because I'm a counselor. Like for example, a lot of people in business, they really struggle with their worth and their value. And so I learned that early on that when you are starting a business, and even when you work for a business or you work for an organization, an agency, you might struggle with asking for someone, like asking for a pay raise or asking for something that, a higher promotion, because you might question your worth and value. And it's so interesting because in studies, it shows that women will struggle with this a lot more than men. Men are more willing to ask or do something that they feel, or have more courage to do something that they feel they're ill-equipped for, whereas women will struggle with that. Our money story, or the stories that we tell ourselves, are that maybe we're not good enough, maybe we don't have enough skills. Oh, we shouldn't ask for that raise because maybe we didn't quite do enough in this area or in that area. And part of your money story is also how you're raised. If you're raised in a household that is everything is scarce, you never have enough, you live in that scarcity world, then yes, your money story is, I need to save all my money. I tell my husband all the time, I just make jokes of him, that he just likes to save money to save. Like he just likes to see money. He's a saver, I'm a spender. I live like there's no tomorrow because there might not be a tomorrow. So I don't mind buying the coffee. I don't mind getting the big street tea. I don't mind spending money. My money story is life is short, money is fun. Fun. Allison, I just used the very word I said that I wasn't going to use and that I thought was odd. I just used it. Money is fun. I do agree with that. I like to have fun with my money. But my husband is all about saving. He's all about securing. And his money story is that he's had an experience where he didn't have. And so he's basically really had to work hard at saving, and he's a great at it. He's our CFO at our household. And so that to me is like the difference in money stories, where I grew up and I didn't really need for anything. I had great Christmases, my parents were very supportive, and I just have a different money story. But it's the point of all of this is that you need to understand what money means to you, because that can really influence how you deal with money, some unhealthy habits you might have with money, or even how you think about getting money or your inability to continue to get money. Neshandra says she is not afraid to ask. She will ask for that promotion in a heartbeat with that raise, okay? Allison, yes, you're exactly right. That's exactly how I feel. Like, money is fun. I like spending my money on like experiences. And you guys know I'm on my minimalism rift. So if we have to pay money for an experience, I'm more willing to do that now than I think I ever was. Like Disneyland is not as expensive as it used to be before, because I feel like that experience with 2 kids is really good. Like I want to do that. Or if I want to go out with my friends and hang out and spend money, I feel like that's okay. My husband will probably hop on here later and say otherwise, but whatever. So I want you guys to think about your money story, because it can be a barrier for you having healthy finances. If you're always stressed about money, if you feel like you'll never have a positive a belief or outlook on money, it's time for you to rethink about that money story. And one of the ways you can do that, I'm taking this from an article by Steinberg, who specializes in helping people with their money. She says that what she does is have people to write down one sentence that tells your current money story. So by condensing it in one sentence, it will help you to think carefully about what you think about yourself and what you think about money. So something that you can say, for example, is money lets me have fun. That's what I like to say, right? It lets me have fun. It lets me experience new opportunities. Or you can say money makes me valuable. You can say capitalism is evil, so I don't get caught up in it. You can say really positive things like, I have enough money. I have enough everything. I love to tell my clients, you have enough, you are enough, you have enough. It's really refreshing sometimes to think about the fact that you have enough. And Deshandra says, I just look at it as a resource, which helps you disconnect from seeing too much value into money, because we see how money can ruin people's lives. We also see how, I love talking about how people who have tons of money are still not happy. And there's a lot of studies and research show that people that reach a certain increment in their salary or in money, they don't experience any more happiness when they go above that. So we all have a threshold in our money story about how much money we need and what is enough. And so it's really interesting to figure out what is your story and how is it hurting you or helping you, and how you can change that story by doing a one-word realignment on that sentence, not one word, one sentence to realign that information. If you guys have more questions about money, I want you guys to send me a message, or I want you to go ahead, send me a DM in our DM. Look at me, sound like a young kid. It goes down in the DM, in my DM, for questions about life and money and mental health. Make sure you do that so that we can answer that on the recorded special program. I think I have my own station on our next programming, but so that we can talk about it with Lisa when she hops on as a guest. What are we going to talk about in February? Because February is coming up, guys, and I bet you're wondering, we are talking about self-care. We are talking all about self-care and how to reset. I know it's February. People are probably like, oh, you're going to talk about relationships. We're not. We're going to talk about the relationship with you. We're going to talk about how to reset your self-care routine. So we're going to talk about some important things and areas that you need to be doing with yourself if you're not already, and how you can start to implement and be more intentional about taking care of you and yourself if you haven't been. A lot of us are getting through the holidays and we're just like, ugh, getting through, trying to process, this information of the new year and all these things with our jobs and insurance and everything, life, being super busy. So I'm hoping that us having a reset month is great, because it helps you to reset your heart, reset your mind, and be intentional about what you want to do. So I'm looking forward to talking with you guys in February, but tune in next Thursday to watch the recording live, or not live because it's pre-recorded, but to watch it with Lisa and ask me any questions if you have them. Good night, guys. Deuces.